Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. This is the Less is More Coaching Podcast videocast. And today we are going to be discussing, this is the third day in a row, your relationships define your future, the 10 critical laws of relationship. It's by Dr. Rob D. Thompson. And last week we spoke about, just a quick review here, we spoke about the law of agreement. And basically inside of the law agreement, there are 6 non-negotiable attributes of any fulfilling relationship. 1, personal integrity. 2, a giving attitude. 3, an unswerving commitment to truth. 4, a long-term perspective and commitment. 5, a passionate pursuit of distinction. And 6, a kingdom mentality. Now, inside of this law of agreement, it is impossible to walk through life with another unless the celebration of common values is present. And there were several that we had here, and I'm going to rattle these off, and you'll be able to go back if you want to check them out on replays. But just to give you an idea of the law of agreement, and then we're going to talk about the next law, the law of access. And then today we're going to talk about the law of covenant. So to go back to the law of agreement, you will become like those with whom you associate. And we've heard many, many times, you're the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. So this is, some of these agreements are going to sound very, very familiar. The quality of your life is greatly dependent upon those you call friend. Our closest allies must always prize integrity above relationship. You may get what you want, but you will lose what you have. Always be cautious of someone who wants from you what he himself or she herself is unwilling to give. To walk through life according to principle often means you must walk alone. Whatever you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. The level of commitment to truth determines the level of intimacy that 2 can enjoy in any relationship, whether it be work or romance. Your associations will determine your assimilations. The relationship you have is either drawing you closer to or further from God's perfect will for your life. I never make the pleasurable people of my present pay for the painful people of my past. In other words, getting complete with people in your past. The kind of requirements you place upon others reveals the kind of person that you are yourself. So as a coach, if I don't give homework to my clients, I'm not going to do homework myself. Well, guess the reverse of that is I love giving homework to my clients and even people that come into rooms on Clubhouse. Why? Because it causes me to do my homework and levels me up. Watch what a person does and stop just listening to what a person says. I will experience my greatest moments and fulfill the destiny to which I've been called only as I remain faithful to divinely ordained relationships. So that's the law of agreement. And we had some fun last week sitting inside of that conversation, seeing what was available and what it made available inside of our work, inside of our opportunity to look at expanding who we are in our in our businesses and in our personal life. Excuse me. So with that, the law of access, which was a fun one. There are unspoken rules, both to access and to remain in relationship. And the points that came out of this were really awesome, because we looked at to remain in a relationship. There are things like yesterday people, today people, future bearers. And what are those different categories of people for you to have access to the relationship of your dreams? What does it look like? What does it look like to have a broken heart in the fruit of an unscrupulous relationship, suffering both the consequences and the rewards of those who are closest to you? And how do we deal with that? Protocol, never allowing the invitation of intimacy to be destroyed by the contempt of familiarity. You know, even if a person is my peer and equal, I choose to assume the role of a servant. Rather than serving them in the same way I serve those above me, I serve them with my love, support, encouragement, openness, and fellowship. Like treating people as equals and having those expectations. When we look at why we're giving access into our relationship, why we're giving access to the people that are around us, that we love, that we want to be surrounded by, who those people are, we want to look at the pursuit. What does the pursuit look like in a relationship? What does the respect look like in a relationship? Respect is the key that opens the door of access. Don't relate to people through God, but relate to God through people. And honor. Honor is the gate through which all godly relationships enter. When you honor someone, you are placing value upon him or her. Honor is making a commitment to always value and respect someone. You must expand your definition of what honor means by including the commitment aspect. For healthy relationships, you must honor everyone. You may not like them based on how you feel about them, but you still want to honor them. That is to treat them as though they are valuable, because, you know, God has already declared that they are as human beings. Attitude, put simply, relationships just work better when you're happy. A good attitude goes a long way toward building lasting relationships. I mean, nobody wants to be around a person harboring a bad attitude, do they? The fact is, the friendlier you are, the more you're going to have people who want to pursue long-lasting, mutually beneficial relationships. Encourage yourself. And then finally, attention, spending time and start investing time, knowing how to invest your time. Attention will give you access to the great. In this rat race world, time has become a person's most valuable commodity. It's also the element that puts all of us on the same playing field because we all have just that amount of time. As they say, a true servant gladly abandons all personal pleasure in order to become a tool in the hand of the one he serves. And lastly, there's a few more here about access. And, I don't want to overload us today. I want to stick with the first 10 here. A gift, your seed and skill. Ponder this for a moment. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Your gifts will open doors for you, but you must also remember that the only gifts that will ever be remembered will be the gifts that the individual wanted. Each and every person has something particular he or she wants to receive in life. A prodigal wants to exploit the mentor's gifts and skills to become great. A protege wants to develop his gifts and skills to the end that his mentor would be great. So back and forth looking to see, which do you want to be, a prodigal or a protege? Well, I could tell you right now, I want to be a protege. Obedience. The crown of a man's character and purpose is born the moment he realizes his duty to obey. The proof of real love will be evident in a person's actions, not his words. You must be willing to prove everything you say by backing it up with your actions. Remember, people do not believe what they tell you. People believe what they do. And then a desire to please, a desire to give, and then value. So those are the issues today that we want to look at around unspoken rules to access and into the relationship. So I'd love to hear, hey Toyin, hey John, hey Benjamin.
Good evening, Coach. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, thank you. This is always fun. I love doing my podcast. It's kind of fun to hear people that are watching and people that are looking at it in different ways. And I'm streaming on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter and here on Clubhouse. So thank you for joining me, Benjamin. Appreciate it. Hi, Toyin. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. And what I'd love to just check in with you on, Benjamin, what are your thoughts about you and giving access to Benjamin around having a relationship? What does that look like to you? What are some of the unspoken rules that you put out there to be responsible for how people show up with you in a relationship?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Coach. According to what you just said, actually, I joined late, and the few points you gave was the point I actually have in mind. Like, you have the respect. You mentioned something like respect. And
yes.
When you're in a relationship, what is desired from both ends for the relationship to move further and to move smoothly is respect. And when you have respect for each other, you're gonna see the relationship going in the right direction. And something very prolific and important is trust. You've got to have trust for each other. No matter what, you have to build that trust between you and the person you're in a relationship with. Trust really matters a lot, because trust is going to make you it's not going to make you doubt the opposite person who's in a relationship with you. And trust is going to create this strong bond between you and the person. And another thing you mentioned again is attention. Attention, attention is very necessary and imperative in a relationship. Attention, not just attention, but communication. Communication as well is very vital in a relationship. When 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 you're in a relationship whereby the both of you are working, or both of you tends not to see each other often, but when you communicate, it's as if you guys are together. Like there's this my friend who attend class with me. She's my classmate, and she has a boyfriend, and the boyfriend works in a shell, and the girlfriend is a schooling. They don't stay in same state, but all the time when the boyfriend is having a break, lunchtime, even between works, he always check up on the girl, and it makes her happy. So you see, communication really makes you feel as if you're with the opposite person you're in relationship with, and it gives an edge for a smooth relationship. And there's so many other vital points I can actually list right now. Thank you for this opportunity, Coach. I think this viewpoint of mine is okay.
I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Benjamin. I love that viewpoint, both. And I think the verse you were referring to is respect is the key that opens the door of access.
Exactly, sir.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful statement that's highlighted in the book. So really great. Thank you so much. And Brother Wade, how are you?
I'm doing well. How do I sound?
You sound great now. We couldn't hear you at all this morning. We didn't hear you at all this morning.
I got you. Well, unfortunately, I was traveling, and apparently my connection wasn't any good. So refresh me a little bit about what we're talking about this evening, Coach.
Well, so what we're talking about right now is we're talking about the law of access in relationships, and looking at, what does it take to create access? The best way I could put it is really the first paragraph of the chapter, where it says every relationship has rules both to enter and to remain. The practice of qualifying relationships is a rare one among people today. Many have brought into the lie that we should welcome everyone that comes into our lives. We must realize that every relationship has either a positive or negative effect on our life. If that effect is not a positive one, then even through tears, we must be willing to turn away from that relationship. Hello? So inside of that, we had some mini topics to look at in the types of relationship. They're yesterday people, today people, and tomorrow people. We looked at protocols and, the things that to be polite and how to connect and create relationship. And we looked at some of the reasons that access might be granted. And like, why would somebody let you in? And one of the big things that was highlighted in here was, in order to gain access, the great you must posture as a position. In order to access the great, you must posture as a protege. A prodigal is a person who is in a relationship only to take. And a protege is somebody who is in a relationship pursuing a relationship with grace and dignity and adding value to the relationship. So my question would be to you, Wade, what do you see as what gives you access to getting into relationships? How do you see it for you yourself?
What I see and what gets me into relationships is adding value. I really sincerely believe that value oftentimes is gained by listening first, which I'm going to preface this is a challenge for me because I'm a speaker. I want to tell you a story. I want to tell you all about you. I want you to understand me. And I have learned and still struggle. My wife has to coach me oftentimes, just to ask the question, how is somebody doing?
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing today? I had to learn, like with friends, how is your mom doing? How is your spouse doing? What may appear to be common knowledge or even niceties or being polite, often because I'm kind of to the point, want to get things done type of person. And so to gain that access, I had to learn to, show up, and it's a gradual build to the trust. And then the other thing I see is sometimes the environment you're in grants you almost instant access. And I'm going to use our relationship coach because you and I met at Ziegler Coaching. We know the process that Tom uses when he allows us to become certified trainers and coaches. So we already know we're vetted. So I know you were vetted to some extent, and you knew I was. And through that relationship with Tom, and I think there's a big answer, is we gain access through other relationships. Because I know Tom Ziegler, then I had access to Bob Bodine and Bob Teedy and several other people who I could now reach out and say, hey, I have a question or I need some help with something. And they see that, oh, yeah, I'm a Ziegler Legacy certified coach and trainer. So therefore, they know. That access can often be given or taken away just because you know someone else. They can give you that availability to open the door up. But once the door is open, then it's our opportunity, and what we do with it will either make or break how long that relationship continues, or to the extent of how close that relationship develops. So I'm complete. And that was a very good question. I really enjoyed answering that question.
Whoops. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Sorry, I just didn't know.
Okay, sir.
Awesome. So for me, The next question, and I see, Robert, you popped up on stage again. What do you see about the same question about relationships? Uh-oh, he left.
What the right?
All right. Well, I'll continue moving through the chapter, and we'll see what comes up next. I didn't see that he had left the room. Okay. So let's take a look at some of the to help you recognize a prodigal. The people that are in relationships just to take from being in the relationship. Prodigals display very distinct motives and behaviors, which we're going to continue to discuss all the way through this book. A prodigal is a person who is in relationship only to take what is ever is available for the taking. They don't add value to the relationship, but rather they leave a bitter aroma of pain and brokenness. Here are some of the basic actions.
Sorry, Coach.
Yes.
Can I ask? Wait, how do you spell the prodigal?
Prodigal.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. A prodigal wants what you have, but is unwilling to pay the same price as you to obtain it. A prodigal is interested in what you will do for his influence and reputation. A prodigal is there solely to get. A prodigal wants you to continually recognize and praise him or her for their achievements, but they're not interested in celebrating your achievements. A prodigal believes you're in his life to meet his needs, but he's not there, or she is not there to meet yours. A prodigal is in your life looking for credibility rather than correction and instruction. A prodigal will embrace your enemies, but still wants to be your friend. A prodigal will use any information to manipulate you and use your turn. A prodigal will leave the moment he has received from you what he believes that he needs. A prodigal will get angry with you for attempting to correct him. Prodigals say the right things, but their actions say something else. It has been said, your actions speak so loudly that I can't hear a thing you are saying. Listen with your eyes and watch out for these types of people. All right. A prodigal is in your life looking for credibility rather than correction and instruction. A prodigal will embrace your enemies, but will still want to be your friend. They will leave you the moment they've received what they need, and they will get angry with you attempting to correct them. Not a person I think you want in your life. Remember, they always say the right things, as I said earlier, but their actions say something else. On the contrary, a protege, Protege, a protege or a son is looking to sow his life into the one who is called. A protege understands that no seed can ever produce a harvest until it dies and is planted into good ground. Therefore, you must choose to lay your life down in service to the esteemed man or woman to whom you are called. A true protege knows he must demonstrate the following 10 qualities in order to be granted access to the great. Now, this is where it gets really good. Because as a protege now, especially because I know you're writing this, I'm writing this down, Benjamin, is completely on the other side. A prodigal wants the mentor to pursue him. A protege makes it his aim to pursue the mentor. The reward of any relationship is determined by the value that is placed upon it. And the first demonstration, the first quality, in order to be granted access to be the great, a mentor or father doesn't need to know what you know, regardless of how much you know. Jesus said it this way: most assuredly, I say to you, a servant is not greater than his master, nor is he who is sent greater than he who sent him. These individuals have years of experience. It's your responsibility to pursue their wisdom and serve them with all your heart. A protege makes it his aim to pursue his mentor. Find out what it takes to draw wisdom from your mentor in order to unlock the future God has for you. Although the invitation to access is granted by the mentor, the responsibility to come to the party is on the part of the protege. A prodigal, however, wants the mentor to pursue him, as I said before. So is this making sense, Benjamin, the difference between a protege and a prodigal?
Yes, sir. It is, sir.
Beautiful. Wade, are you good?
Oh, definitely. Matter of factly, Coach.
Yep.
When you read some of the previous things, it stuck out to me why certain relationships I had blew up in my face because they were prodigals.
Yes, exactly. Isn't that interesting? That's the one thing I noticed when I read this the first time. So really great. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Elisha exemplifies his principle so well. Remember, after all the sons of the prophets were long gone, Elisha continued to pursue. Elisha told Elijah, as long as you live and as the Lord lives, I will never leave you. I am committed to you until the very end. Any opportunity to leave or step out of the relationship with those above you will reveal your true heart. As long as you live and as long as the Lord lives, I will never leave you. The reward of any relationship is determined by the value that is placed upon it. Your pursuit in relationship should not be to receive a temporary blessing, but an eternal inheritance. You must understand an inheritance is never given until the father is gone. But if you leave before the inheritance comes, you have lost your claim to it. Your reward only comes when you don't waver or cease from pursuing your mentor. You must stick close to those you are pursuing, earnestly seek their wisdom, and diligently follow their counsel. Only when you do will you enjoy the rewards of pursuit. Please don't forget the responsibility of relationship lies on the one pursuing rather than the one being pursued. So that's pursuit. Now we're going to go into my favorite, respect. Respect is a magnet. It will instantly draw towards you the object of your respect. Respect will give you entrance to intimacy in the lives of others. It will take you to secret places where only a few are allowed to go. Respect, again, it will instantly draw you towards the object of your respect. Respect will give you entrance to intimacy in the lives of others. It will take you to secret. Showing respect towards others reveals a lot about your character. It reveals that you are a person of dignity and self-respect. For you cannot give something that you do not possess. Being a respectful person shows that you place great value on the lives of others. And therefore, you are someone who can be trusted with the valuable secrets of another's heart. Treating others with respect and dignity. Being a respectful person shows that you place great value on the lives of others, and therefore you are someone who can be trusted with the valuable secrets of another's heart. Treating others with respect and dignity uncovers a confident and selfless spirit that strives to put others' needs ahead of its own. So what do you think? I'm going to pass the mic to you, Benjamin. What do you think about protege?
Yeah, thank you, Coach. Yeah, according to what you just explained about protege, I think someone who is being prodigal is someone who is selfish. I don't know if I can use that word for it. It means selfishness, Coach, right?
Yep.
When you're being prodigal in a relationship, according to what you just explained, you only want what's going to benefit you and not the other person. You want everything to yourself, and that form of selfishness and combined with greed. So you don't care about the end of the other person, and you just want everything to yourself. It could be the person compliments you all the time, and you don't get to say anything. The person gives you what you want, and you don't give the person what you want. You get what you want, and you don't care about the other person. Prodigy it's a relationship killer. It destroys relationship, and this is what a lot of people are facing in their relationship and marriages. And some are just scared to speak out, especially the women. They just want to bear, and they think they got no choice, and because the I don't know, they are just kind of I would say that's captivity. The prodigy is really not good, or someone with prodigy behavior. Prodigy can be a behavior of a person. It could be the person is just like that, and it's really terrible, and such people need orientation. Prodigy is selfishness. In I really thank you very much, coach, because I really like this. This topic really interests me, and I just see some of the flaws that we experience in relationship is as a result of this.
Yes.
We just care about ourselves only, and we don't even bother to think about the other person's feelings or emotions. And these are some of the reasons why people have divorce and broken homes, divinity and disunity among families. I think this prodigy is responsible for a lot of things. And it could be a behavior, and it could be a very bad spirit. I don't know if that's advisable to use.
No, I love it, and I thank you.
Yeah. So I think the Bible says um I don't know how to quote it, but it says, "Women, submit yourself to your husband, and husband, love your wife." So it is reciprocal. The woman respects the man loves the woman. Loves and respect, it's more like they are similar. So when you have these towards each other, there is no room for prodigy or selfishness, which is really definitely going to improve the love and feelings for each other. Thank you very much, coach. I think I'm okay with that.
It's wonderful. Thank you. Really appreciate that introspect, Benjamin. Wade,
thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Wade, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, and I wonder about this. I wonder how much of it is the prodigal aware of their selfishness, or is it like they're just so deceived. They're just so deceived on how life and relationships work. And I suppose some of it is by ignorance, because as we started the discussion, the prodigal gets angry about correction. The prodigal leaves as soon as he gets what he wants. The prodigal once pursued by the mentor. So basically, the prodigal is trying to run the show and remains ignorant, more than likely, because of all of those reasons. And it's interesting you brought out how about the value of the relationship is the reward is the value of the relationship. in the fact that it's inherited and you don't get your inheritance before the other person's death. Except for in the Bible, there was the parable about the prodigal son. And that was the exact thing. And that's how it played out. This is valuable information to me personally, because I see some areas in my own life that I still have prodigal traits that concern me a lot. It really does. For the fact is, it's a change in me. It's been an ongoing transformation to leave a life where things were more important than people. A very good example of this I give, and I am definitely in no way proud of this, but I remember a conversation with my previous wife who divorced me, and one of the conversations was about her being in a car accident. And I remember saying, well, what's the car like? And in that experience, I think, today I work on placing, I really liked the part where it talked about looking for other people's needs and fulfilling those, which takes us right back to our favorite quote from Zig Ziglar. You can have everything, anything you want in life if you just help enough other people get what they want. And the correlation, it's just reinforcement. It's a good reminder to look at, and just a different way of hearing it. So that's what I'm getting out of it. I'm complete.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate this. And this is, I think this is a great spot for us to pause and pick it up again tomorrow, and the podcast tomorrow, because I'm afraid to get into another topic and then we won't be able to end on time. And what I want to leave you both with is this part that, for me, respect is the key that opens the door of access. And I believe that respect is the thing that is missing the most in today's society, and that is available, is the thing that I think making respect available for each person, and for that possibility, I'm excited because I see it as a big hole where we can, as a coach, we can make a big difference in having people learn self-respect. And that's a big deal. So Benjamin and Wade, I appreciate you both being here and stepping onto stage and being a part of the conversation today. I thank you for those that are watching on Facebook. I appreciate you and look forward to being back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time, and pushing right through to 4 p.m. tomorrow. And Benjamin and Wade, thank you. I look forward to seeing you in the hallways, or look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Coach. I really appreciate your work.